Welcome back after the Easter holidays. Hi, it's Martin. And look, here we are. A quarter of the year has passed. We're now in April. So, what now and what next? So, look, this is a message for, and you know the drill by now. I work with leaders, managers, business owners, not exclusively, but predominantly in the financial services industry, because that was where my 20-year career was. So, I understand that industry very, very well. And they're trying to balance their professional life with their family life because working harder and longer gets you so far. And yet you've got great responsibilities and a salary and benefits, or you're owning your own business. And that's all great, but working more and more and more hours means you're spending less and less time with your family. And so this is a dilemma that a great many of us have been through and are going through. So this is the message for you, because I just want to give you some perspective on the rest of the year and how I approach the rest of the year and how I approach it with my clients. And I think it just might help you, because the first quarter of the year was all about setting you up to build that momentum. So, clean sheet, fresh year, come in. No, I'm not interested in New Year's resolutions that last 2 weeks. Give you the tools and the techniques, the strategies to actually get moving, get honest, get clear, get passionate about where you're going, get the help you need, start planning and address that balance. Make you a better leader at work. Feel more calm, confident, in control of your workload, of your time. Set boundaries and be there with your children, be there with your partner. The first quarter is all about setting you up for that so you can have a great rest of the year. And I'm so proud of the so many people that have made those changes, that have made those shifts, are working with me. I've looked at the content I put out day in, day out, whether it's the long videos, the short videos, the long posts, the short posts, the newsletter, the articles, the trainings, the events, all designed to help you. And so I know there's so many people that are really starting it and they're motoring, and it's amazing to see, because they now realize they are just small shifts that you need to make. Small shifts in how you're looking at things, small shifts in how you're approaching things that make all the difference. It doesn't have to be this big, complicated mess and this big, complicated solution. We just need to just look at things slightly differently. And so I'm so proud of you. If you've been making that progress, congratulations. Well done. Keep going. We're in April now, so you've got that momentum. But this message really is for those of you that maybe haven't. Great intentions to be better and do better, but just haven't managed it yet. And I get it. There's no judgment here, because I was like that for years. Years literally passed. I had that 20-year career from a marketing assistant that seemed to do an awful lot of proofreading, right through to being responsible for millions of clients and billions of pounds worth of investments, pensions, profits, and raising a family at that time. And it's tough. So I get it that we don't feel like we've got the time, and we're always busy, we're always on a treadmill, and it's relentless. So I get it. So look, I'll give you some perspective on the rest of the year. First quarter's gone, right? I don't see the rest of the year as 3 separate quarters. Now, if you're a business owner, you'll do a quarterly review like we do with Sales Academy. But in terms of your personal development, because this really is what this is about, I see this as 2 parts. Not 3 quarters, but 2 parts. We've got between now and the summer holidays. Then there's a break for summer, and hopefully you'll be going away, and whether that's a week, 2, 3, 4, whatever it might be. And then there's September to December. And September to December is the home straight. It's where you take all the momentum that you've built for the rest of the year and you go into that final stretch of the year strong. And you're looking to finish the year strong, personally and professionally. And what do I mean by this? Remember, leaders, managers, business owners with families. So let's just take the family part. September, start of the academic year. So maybe it'd be your child's first year in school, or it's their next year, or maybe they're moving up a key stage or to a new school, or it's their final year in primary school and they're in their year 6, or maybe they're going into their GCSEs, a really tough time. So the academic year starts in September and you want to be there for them. Whatever this looks like, if it's about dropping them off in the mornings, picking them up in the afternoons, afternoon clubs, being more involved in their homework, being able to attend the events, be them sporting events or assemblies. I mean, like in the autumn time, you get the Harvest Festival, right? Was it Flippy Floppy Scarecrow with his flippy floppy hat? I mean, it was one of my favorite assemblies to go to of the entire year. It's so cute. It's amazing. It's just like the Easter Parade assembly. If you didn't go to that, you missed out. Go to it next year. And this is kind of where we start. We go, what do we want to be involved in with our children? And some of our children, in fact, a lot of our children, that first term of the academic year, there are a lot of tests. They put them through a lot of tests to just judge where they are in terms of their knowledge and then put them into sets and all that. It can be pretty stressful. It's pretty stressful going back to school or to school after a 6-week break, let alone then going into tests. You want to be around for them with that, help them and support them through that. So we're talking about having all the tools and the strategies so that that's not some big surprise and you're starting in September. You already know what to do because this is how you operate already. And you're there for them at that important time. And professionally, you'll be going into end of year reviews. If you work in a business, end of year reviews. And if you're a business owner, you'll be reviewing the year. And it's not just about the figures, it's about your contribution and how you go about these things. Performance reviews is what have you achieved, but how have you achieved as well? And so you're going to be going into that, and you'll want to go in there with all that momentum and the fact that you've gone from kind of a manager that is trying to juggle all the different pieces and try to do them all at the same time, all by last Friday, to being a really calm, confident, in control leader. You can look at everything and go, that. You know what questions to ask, and you go, that's what I need to focus on. That's what the team need to focus on. Not trying to juggle 97 things. You've got all of that momentum and everything that you've built, everything you've achieved, and really importantly, how you've gone about that. End of the year, your end of year review, really important. You can have an amazing, your best ever end of year review. And end of the year, you'll be going into Christmas. I'm sure you, your family, and I certainly want you to enjoy the Christmas season. Not claw your way to Christmas Day, but actually through December, enjoy the build-up. Be involved. The carol concerts, the nativity plays, the Christmas markets, the tunes, the decorating. Some of you, I know, missed out on some of that stuff because you were working all the time, trying to dot every I, cross every T before you go off for Christmas, as if it was the end of the world and there's no life after Christmas. You're desperately trying to get everything done, and you miss out on the build-up. I don't want that for you. You don't want that for you. Your family doesn't want that for you. You want to go into December again, because you're calm, because you're confident, because you're in control of the workload and your time, and you've set your boundaries, and you're making an even bigger difference than you were before, but in less hours, you're able to enjoy it. I know some of you say, oh yeah, but I did do that, and I was there for that. But were you really there? Like physically you're there, but mentally you're still stressing and worrying about work. I know, I've been there. That's why I'm so passionate about this. So let's go into December just with that calmness and enjoy it. And then instead of clawing your way to Christmas Day where you're totally exhausted and can't actually enjoy the day to its fullest effect, you're actually going there and you've got the energy. You're excited for it. You're ready for it. And then at the end of the year, we're looking back on you're on New Year's Eve and you're looking back at your previous self, this self right here, and you're so proud of you because in April you made that decision. You went, enough is enough. I got to be better and do better. I want to get better balance. I don't know how. I don't know, how this is going to work or what I've got to do to do that. But I know I need to tackle this, and it's been going on for too long. And you just drew that line in the sand. You went, enough's enough. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to learn some new things. I'm going to get some help. And you did. And you put these simple things into place. And you started looking at work differently, your role at work differently. You started approaching your workload differently. You started focusing your time differently. And you built habits, daily habits that just kept you on track with all this, so that your productivity was there, your health was there, your energy was there, your boundaries are there. And the compound effect of all these things have led you to the end of the year, New Year's Eve, and you're so proud of what you've achieved and the balance that you have now, the lifestyle that you have now, the quality of life that you have now, compared with probably last New Year's Eve. This is what we're talking about. This is that end of the year stretch. I know some of you are looking at me crazy saying, Martin, what are you talking about? It's April. Why are we talking about Christmas and New Year's Eve? Because the work to make that vision come true starts now. It doesn't start in September or October or November or when you start panicking in December. It starts now. You want that vision to come true. Like I said, you go into September, that second part of the year, you go into that with momentum, with all the tools and the strategies already in place. So it starts right now. Between now, April, and the summer holidays is when we start building the tools in your toolbox. So that you've got all these tools. So you are, like I said, looking at work differently, looking at your role at work differently, approaching your workload differently, focusing your time differently, and building the daily habits. And none of this is rocket science. People like to overcomplicate things. And one of the things I certainly pride myself on and my clients love is that I simplify things. I'm real, I'm grounded, and I simplify things, because then we can actually put these things into place on a regular, consistent basis. So this is the time between April and the summer. This is when we start building that toolbox of all the things that you can start doing, and you put them into immediate effect, and you start getting benefit from them day in, day out. The compound effect starts building, and you do start feeling more calm, more confident, more in control. You're more focused, you're more productive. You are working less hours, but you've myth busted the whole thing of, I can't work less hours and not get as much done. You're actually going to make a bigger difference. This is the time when we get those tools and we start putting them into practice, so that then when it comes to September, we're already there. And we can finish really strong. And the beautiful thing about this period of time between April and the summer holidays is it's a test bed for that final part of the year. Because there are two things very specifically that happen, in that you'll have, again, if you're working in a business, you'll have a half-year performance review. So you're going to be able to use these tools, use the techniques, use the strategies to start building this, and yes, achieving things, but it's how you're achieving them that makes all the difference. You're going to be able to carry all that through into your half-year review. You can potentially have your best half-year review because you've shifted things. You want that, I'm sure. But that's then your test bed for, well, crikey, I'm getting this. I've only just started. I've put this into place for a few months. Right, let's carry on, because look what could happen. Where could we possibly be at the end of the year? What's my year end going to look like? So you've got that as a test. And then we go into the summer holidays. So just like the Christmas holidays, the whole idea is that you don't claw your way to the holiday. Come on, summer holidays. Let's just admit it. Very often it's a mad scramble. Again, dotting every I, crossing every T, trying to get everything done and perfectly all in place. But before you go on holiday. You're working crazy long hours, and by the time you get to your holiday, you are totally exhausted. And you're still thinking and worrying about work because it was so frantic. You're like, did I miss something? Did I give the right handovers? And then you're worried, will anything actually happen whilst I'm off with some of these things that are really important to you, but you rush the handover, so did they actually get it? And you're still thinking and worrying about that. And it takes you a week and a half at least to just at least start to relax and calm down. And then it's the end of your holiday and you've got to go and hit your desk again. Just like Christmas, right? Can you see the pattern? And I'm willing to bet that some of you did this if you had time off at Easter. It was just the same. I know, because it used to be me. And there's no judgment with that. I'm just being real with you to say, hey, look at the pattern. We can break that because we can put the tools and strategies in place so that you're nice and calm by the time it gets to your holiday. The handover's done. It was planned. You're focusing on the right things. You're not trying to do 97 things all at the same time. Actually, you know, there are a short few things that you need to focus on, that the team needs to focus on. And those are the things that you're spending your time doing and making sure they're in a good state. You feel good. You're a leader of not just your team, but you're a leader of your workload, of your time, of your life. You can go into your summer holidays being able to enjoy it with the right excitement, with the right energy from second one, rather than trying to get a week and a half in and maybe just starting to relax. So we start now. We start putting things into place. You start building the momentum. You go into your half-year review. And if you're a business owner, you'll be doing a half-year review. But again, it won't just be the stats. It'll be what's your contribution? What difference are you making? How are you going about this? Because if you're totally frazzled, that's no good for your company. So we got that as the test, and then we can go into the summer holidays. And trust me, you then start having a good half-year review. You go into summer differently to what you've done before. You're going to want more of that. So that's when the momentum then kicks back in. We have a break over summer, and then we finish strong at the end of the year. And again, bringing it back to family, you might be having a summer holiday, fantastic, but your children are likely to be having a much longer summer holiday than you are in terms of work. So you want to be around for that. It's not just about, oh, we've got a week or two off. You want to be around for the other times as well. So it's about taking control of your time, your diary, setting your boundaries, being more flexible so that you can spend time, not just at weekends, but in the evenings too. Take advantage of those later nights, the summer evenings. Go to the park or play in the garden. This is the vision. So what I said, what now? What next? That's what we're aiming for. That's the vision. But it all starts now. It doesn't start the summer or September, because for every day that goes past, for every week that goes past, every month that goes past, you've lost momentum. You haven't built any momentum. You haven't got the tools. You're not making the difference that you could do at work, but you're also losing out on time with your family and your partner, your children. In this summer term, there's all manner of things that happens there. Sports day is always a good one. Get involved in the parents' race. There's going to be other assemblies, other events. For some of you, for some of your children, they're going to be, again, like the start of the year, there's going to be tests. Again, it can be pretty stressful. Be there for them. But you've got to carve out the time and get more control over your diary and more control over your time in order to do that. Nobody else is going to do that for you, but you can. And it doesn't come at the expense of your work and what you can achieve. It's such a myth. You can make a bigger difference in less hours. You just got to know how. But how would you know if nobody's taught you? Because this stuff isn't taught at school or university or in our induction. It's not even taught in our management and leadership training. They just give you some high-level concepts or you don't even have management and leadership training. They just expect you, because you did a good job, in your previous role, that somehow you're able to manage everybody. Then it's different. And for me, it took me falling over. I didn't get a hold of this for so long that I became very, very ill, to the point I couldn't work. Oh, I don't want that for you. And I'm not saying you're on that path, but the longer you just hope, wish, and pray things are going to work out, the longer you just have one strategy, which is work harder and longer, the more at risk you are. At best, just live in a shadow of the life that you could professionally, but more importantly, personally, with your family. I mean, at worst, you don't even want to know. So why am I passionate about this? Because of that. And it all starts right now. So look, that's my message coming out of Easter. Here we are in April. Let's look at the rest of the year. Let's look at it in two parts. What can we achieve? What new skills, what new knowledge, what new strategies, what new tools can we learn between now and September, in the summer? Put them in practice, build the momentum, have a good half year, have a great summer, and then have a really strong end of the year. Again, personally and professionally, being there for our family and making a difference at work. All starts right now. So look, you know that one of the things I do is one-to-one coaching. This is the fastest way for you to make improvements. So I'm one-on-one with you. We can talk about your situation, what's on your mind, live and in the moment, and I can help you and guide you, and then obviously give you those strategies and help you and guide you, give you the reassurance, give you the perspective to actually put this stuff into practice, help keep you on track with this stuff. I do my coaching calls on a Wednesday and a Thursday, and I work with some amazing clients, and they all work in different ways. Some are weekly, some of them are every other week, some of them are monthly. So it just depends on what fits them and what's right for them. And doing it that way, I've still got space in my diary on a Wednesday and a Thursday. So I'm not giving up on you. I'm not going anywhere. I've still got spaces where we could get together on a Wednesday or a Thursday, be that every week, every other week, or once a month. We could be talking this week. I've looked, I've checked, I've got space in my diary on Wednesday and Thursday this week. We can do that. We can have that call. So I encourage you to just reach out. And I know it takes a bit of courage. I know it takes a bit of honesty. Like, we don't like getting uncomfortable with this stuff and going, oh, I don't have the answers. I know, but how would you have the answers when you haven't done it before? I'm just here as your friendly face to get real with you, get grounded with you. Make this simple so that you can start making the progress that you need, that you want, that your family wants. And all it takes is initially just drop me a message. Every client I've ever worked with one-on-one has just dropped me a message first. Said, hey, look, I've seen your stuff and I think you might be able to help me. Can we talk it through? We set up a call, a free call, not a sales call, not a sales pitch. I'm not into any of that. We're just going to have a really honest and natural conversation about what the heck's going on in your life, what work's like, what's family life is like, how you're feeling. And we're going to get honest. We're going to get a bit of clarity on how you would like that to be and why that's so important. The chances are I will then help you by introducing you to a model that's one of my favorite models to help you understand why you're feeling like you are and the kind of decision making you're making, but then how you can correct that and how that's all part of this getting the balance right. So 6 human needs, I'll be able to identify where you go towards. And I just want to bring this to life, right, really quickly. So one of the human needs is certainty. So if you've got 97 things on your list, all trying to do it all at the same time, all by last Friday, you can't possibly do all of that. You haven't got a plan to do that because it's impossible, but you're still desperately trying to figure out how to do that. You've got no certainty. And by the way, you're probably in an environment that's changing a lot. Financial services changing all the time, regulators, restructures every 6 to 18 months. There's all of this going on. You've got very little certainty. So if you are somebody who likes a bit of certainty in your life, you like a plan, you like to know where you're going, you like to have some control over the controllables, but your life is feeling completely out of control, very simply, it'll be obvious. And maybe it's obvious now. I'm giving you value in advance. Do you like certainty? And then you look at your life and go, actually, one of the reasons I'm feeling like this is I've got no certainty. I've got no plan. I don't know how to go about this. But if I did, if I had some strategies, if I had some tools in my toolbox, I'd get some certainty. That would help me calm down. I'd be more focused, more productive. I'd get more done. I wouldn't feel so frazzled. That alone is going to help you. We'll probably go through something like that. I can identify some other things that can really help you in this moment. And I'm not going to pitch. I'm not going to sell to you. If we've had a really great conversation, if you're getting value from it, the chances are you'll ask me, this has been great, Martin. What would it be like to work with you? How would that work? What's that like? And I'll be able to, based on our conversation, I'll be able to tell you what I would suggest. I'm not just going to go, hey, here's my £10,000 a year, all singing, all dancing, unlimited coaching program. I got one of those, but if it's not appropriate to you, then I'm not going to tell you about that. The chances are it'll be, every other week or a monthly call. Let's get on top of this. Let's get on track of this. And then if you want to go on with that, we'll set it up right there and then. I'll even set up the first lot of calls for you. So it's in the diary so we can be excited about that. Getting some certainty about that support. It's as simple as that. I'm just here to keep it real, to have a real conversation about stuff. And maybe in a way that you haven't spoken to other people about because you're keeping it in. I was that dad that did that. And I paid a heavy price. I don't want that for you. So whether you're a mum, a dad, whether you're a leader, a manager, a business owner, whatever it is, and in whatever industry, if this whole balance thing is something you want to tackle, I'm right here for you. And I'm really looking forward to April, to the summer, because we can make so much progress and build so much momentum to make sure that you have an amazing end of the year as well. So thank you so much for joining me. This has been a long one. If you're still with me, the chances are you're interested. The chances are this is something that you want to address. So just do it now. Don't put it off until tomorrow because you'll forget and you won't do it. Just drop me a message right now. And I can't wait to look forward. I can look forward to hearing from you and having a conversation with you and seeing how I can help. Because we can be better and do better. And this is a really exciting year for you to do that. Speak to you soon. Thank you so much for joining me.